Welcome everybody. Today we are doing a San Diego harbor cruise. It's going to take us, I'm guessing, just around the harbor. I don't know exactly where it'll take us, so I've never done this before. So it'll be a first experience for me, and I'm going to bring you all along and just have a good time. Go check out all the cool sights around the harbor. And that's our boat. Admiral Hornblower. Alright, here we go. We got right up front, right at the front of the ship. So we'll get some great views on this cruise. And of course the USS Midway. I'll be doing another video from there, so make sure to check that one out. That one's going to be really good. Neat. There's the other active duty USS Carl Vinson carrier. Coast Guard.
Enters the HMS Surprise, replica of the 18th century Royal Navy frigate. Should play a movie star. If you've ever seen the motion pictures Master and Commander, Far Side of the World with Russell Crowe, also played a part in each of the Pirates of the Caribbean series. Large white boxy ship, that's the Berkeley steam ferry boat operator for 60 years on the San Francisco Bay, built in 1898. A couple other tall ships over there, the Californian, they have a replica of the San Salvador. Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo sailed here in 1542. Now he was the first European to sail into the bay, so he was given credit for discovering the bay. And there's a submarine over at the Maritime Museum that you can tour as well.
Naval base on the Coronado. Navy vessels. Shelter Island right there. And coming up to Point Loma. Oh, yeah, military vessel. Check out the big one over there. Wow.
See and collect tons, literal tons of live bait, and then they come into the receivers and load up the receivers full of live bait for their fishing boats. Looks like the majority of the sea lions are going to be on the left or port side, folks. So California sea lions. The larger ones are the full-grown adults. They can get up to 1,000 pounds. They can dive down 600 feet when fishing. The babies are called pups, and the pups are born at 15 pounds. Very powerful and agile animals. These are California sea lions.
Very cool.
Los Angeles class submarines.
Submarine base.
Up above the submarine base, little white markers in the grass area all along that hillside, that is Fort Rosecrans National Cemetery. Over 100,000 of our nation's finest crew members from all branches of the military have been laid to rest there.
Wow.
If you follow that land all the way to where it ends off to our right, that's where you're going to find it's expensive. A unit cost for an F-18 is right around $93 million. Specific helicopter for that branch. Super Seasign for the Marines, Seahawks for the Navy, the Jayhawk for the Coast Guard that we saw, and the Blackhawk for the Army. They are all made by Sikorsky, so they're all a twin turboshaft engine multi-mission helicopter. Any one of them can be used for anti-submarine warfare, search and rescue, drug interdiction, anti-ship warfare, cargo lift, and special operations. Most significant airframe modification is a hinge tail to reduce their footprint aboard ships. So that means is that back end tail, it can fold completely down, make them more compact, put more of them on the aircraft carriers as well as in these hangars. Speaking of hangars, we have two half-dome hangars. These are from pre-World War II, and originally they were used to house the Navy seaplanes that were based here. Dome hangars are no longer used for aircraft, but the United States Navy has stated these iconic landmarks will remain here.
Great views on the city cruise. This is so cool.
In port today is the USS Carl Vinson, one of 10 Nimitz-class aircraft carriers. These are nuclear-powered ships, submarines and aircraft carriers, the only two vessels that are still nuclear-powered in the Navy. We used to have some cruisers, but now it's pretty much just the carriers and submarines. Nimitz-class aircraft carriers are 1,095 feet long, 257 feet wide. They weigh in at about 98,000 tons. And they carry a crew of over 6,000 personnel, roughly half of the 6,000 for the ship and half of them for the air wing.
Great view of San Diego.
North Island to our right and Coronado Island ahead of the right, where you see the houses, are really all part of one large naturally formed sandbar islands. There used to be a waterway right here where the fence line is located today, separating North Island from Coronado Island. That did give it the effect of looking like two separate land areas. The reason you wanted to cross the bay was mostly to enjoy the great beaches, something that Coronado has always been known for. Regional and passenger ferries, the old Coronado ferry boats. That ferry service, San Diego at the foot of Market Street, where Seaport Village is located today, and we'll land at the concrete seawall on our right-hand side, where you see the park area today, but that park area was originally roadways leading straight down into Orange Avenue. That ferry service was discontinued in 1969 when the...
And now we're coming up on the Coronado Bridge. Check out all the Navy vessels down here.
South San Diego Bay stretches from here all the way down to the international border with Mexico. If you look ahead to our right a little bit, the hillsides are in Mexico. I should say it doesn't quite get to the Mexican border because right down there on the waterfront is the U.S. city of Imperial Beach. But it isn't much more than a half a mile or a mile past the end of the bay where you get into the international border with Mexico. A lot of South San Diego Bay is the natural depth of the bay, some 12 feet deep. Cargo type vessels dedicated for military operations, like this expeditionary transport vessel across the pier from the flat top. These are designed for specific types of military cargoes, and a lot of these are being built right here in San Diego. I think this one was one of those. And they are being built up ahead of us here at a shipyard known as NASCO, National Steel and Shipbuilding Corporation. Some modern LCS vessels, littoral combat ships here on the right-hand side. Steeply angled sides make it hard to identify them on radar. The fin bounces the radar up. Unlike our modern Navy ships, to utilize a variety of different technologies to make the ships more difficult to detect on enemy radar. That entire dry dock floats just like a ship would float. Has enough buoyancy to have a ship inside of it. It pulls up out of the water. The ship in this case. They don't build ships and they don't work on commercial contracts typically. Mostly it's just 100% competing for these large Navy contracts. Number 18 is another of the Independence class littoral combat ship designed for shallow near coastal operations. 964 is an old Spruance class destroyer, no longer in service. I guess it's sort of in service, but not really as a typical fighting ship. This ship is being used now. This is the Paul Foster, being used as a kind of a test platform to review weapons systems. But it is one of the only remaining Spruance class destroyers.
That one's just getting built. Oh, that is so cool.
Next to them, where you see the steam rising from the rendering plant of Kelco. Kelco got started harvesting seaweed called giant kelp, hence the name Kelco. They would process it into a product called sodium alginate or algin, used in pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, and as a food additive, kind of a thickening and texturizing agent. Today they still produce the sodium alginate, but now they start with an agricultural product instead of using that seaweed. Over the bridge of the elevated gray shed, the bulk loader, importing fruit from Central America by the Dole Corporation. 10th Avenue is the West Coast hub for the Dole Corporation. Fruit is imported here and then from here distributed throughout the western portion of the United States. Obviously also used for some military cargoes, all these aircraft to our right-hand side. Also known for importing large bulky things that don't fit into containers, like all the components to put together windmills. We have brought in a lot of the windmill components to build up those windmills. You see.
Yeah. All the containers right there. Yeah.
East Villager, at the end here on the right-hand side, the dome structure of distance, downtown public library. And we have the tan structure of Petco Park for our local baseball team, the San Diego Padres. Larger yachts tied up over here at the Fifth Avenue landing. They kind of cater to some of the larger visiting so-called mega yachts. And in Comic-Con, one of the larger ones we do. Public fishing pier, another one of these here on the right-hand side, free of charge over 24 hours a day. Public fishing piers like this one are exempt from the requirement to first get your Department of fishing license. So the bait check there can provide you with everything you need. They do rent the tackle, and you can buy the bait, and usually have snack bar facilities available as well. very unique downtown entertainment venue here on the right-hand side, the Brady Shell at Jacobs Park, operated by our local symphony orchestra along with big-name entertainers from out of town. They put on the Summer Cobb's Outdoor Evening Concert Series in the East End office.
Alright, I think that's going to do it from our San Diego Harbor cruise. It was really cool. We got to see a lot of really cool sights. First time out on the harbor. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more. And as always, thank you for watching. And I will see you next time.